All right. Hey there, this is Caitlin from KpopStarz, and I'm so excited to be joined by Beomhan of M.O.N.T ARENA in celebration of his upcoming pre-debut solo showcase in New York. For this interview, we'll be taking the lyrics of Beomhan's pre-debut release, Sun's Up, to learn more about him, because the sun is rising on Beomhan's career, and we're so excited to see him shine. So, Beomhan, for the KpopStarz viewers that don't know you, and even the ones that do, can you introduce yourself for us?
Hello everybody, my name is Beomhan. I'm a K-pop trainee under FM Entertainment. I sing, I dance, I rap, and it's very nice to meet everybody. What's up?
I'm so excited. The energy's all the way up there. So for this interview, we'll be exploring the lyrics of Sun's Up. And this sort of interview concept had us paying really close attention to the lyrics, and they are incredible. Are there any lyrics in particular that were your favorite, or any that have really fun memories attached to them?
Ooh, my favorite lyrics, huh? There was this line in the first verse that kind of went, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I ain't had a single bite yet, but now I'm stumbling down the street, people think I'm drunk. Yeah, like during that specific training period that I was talking about, we would like diet and we would practice like a lot. And then I would get off dance practice at around like 6 a.m. And then I would have to like walk back to like my dorm for like an hour. And then like during that time, I'll be like super tired and I'll be like stumbling down the street. And then like to get back to my dorm, I have to cross through Hongdae, which is kind of like where all like the clubs are. So there's like a lot of people like leaving the club around that same time, also like stumbling down the street. So I like would look across the street and there's this guy who's like very clearly drunk. And I'm just like also stumbling. I'm like, wait. And I kind of had that moment. So yeah, that was like a fun moment from the lyrics, I guess.
No, I love that so much. Like getting the backstory of these lyrics and all that humor is so incredible. So just to get us started with Sun's Up, what is your Sun's Up or your morning routine? How do you like to start your day?
Ooh, okay. For me, how I work is that like it's very hard for me to transition from like state to state. Like if I'm working, I work really intensely and it's hard for me to be like, okay, now I'm gonna take a break, right? And the same goes for like when I'm like sleeping or awake. So it takes me a while to like transition from like, oh, like I'm sleeping and now I have to wake up. Because like when I sleep, I sleep. So I wake up in the morning and I just sit up and I close my eyes and I meditate and I try to get myself like into like the idea that like, okay, I'm gonna start my day. So I always wake up, I meditate first thing in the morning.
Oh, I love that so much. Like keeping that mindfulness first. It's so good. So my personal favorite part of Sun's Up is the chorus, you know, where the sun always shows us the way. So what is your guiding light? What are you running towards?
I see myself as like a really passionate and ambitious person. And I'm always chasing my dreams. And like, that's always keeping me forward. So I guess that's like the thing that I'm following. Like I want to be the biggest idol in the world. And I always want to see myself standing in front of like a stadium one day in front of all the fans that I've managed to like meet throughout these years of being an idol. And then I would say like my guiding light would be the fans. And then like knowing that like they enjoy the stuff that I'm doing. So like I'm in a way adding value to their lives as much as they're adding value to my life as well. So yeah, that's what keeps me moving and that's what keeps me forward.
That is such an incredible dream, and I'm so excited to join you in those steps towards that dream. And even in the song you talk about all-nighters, staying on that grind. Can you tell us more about your work ethic and how you're working towards that goal of being the biggest idol in the world?
Work ethic. Okay. That's a good question because I feel as though one thing that does define me would be my work ethic. Because I don't see myself as like naturally gifted or as talented as like the other idols around me. So I feel like there's a experience that I have like in my youth that kind of like parallels the situation. Like I used to be a part of this basketball team when I was younger. And I would always be the smallest in the gym, but then I'll always be the one who would like hustle the hardest and like always diving for like loose balls. And then like at the end of the season, I would win like MVP and like all this stuff, which was like really unexpected from like the person that they were like, oh, this guy's small, like why is he playing basketball? So this parallels like my idol experience in a way, because like I always feel as though because I'm not as naturally gifted, I have to work harder, and I am willing to like work hard, you know? And yeah, I guess that's like my work ethic, or like what like drives my work ethic.
MVP Beomhan, absolutely deserved. We love it. Yeah, I think one of the most unique parts of that work ethic, and that Beomhan daily grind, is how you've managed to take TikTok along with you for your day in the life of a K-pop trainee TikTok series. What's been your favorite part about slotting that into your daily routine?
Oof. Okay. I feel as though the TikTok vlogs that I've been making are super like lighthearted, and it like showcases the little things and like the best parts of my day, I guess. And then as much as I am appreciative that the fans can like see and appreciate it and engage on it, it also serves as like a little reminder for me as well that like what I'm doing is fun, and like it allows me to look at all like the little things that I wouldn't normally be able to see day to day if I wasn't making the vlogs. So I guess that's my favorite part about it. Like it's kind of therapeutic in a way.
No, I love that so much. Like it's for you just as much as it is for the fans. And I think that is really such an incredible part of your personal journey as an idol. And in Suns Up too, you talk about coming to some realizations. What's the biggest realization that you've had throughout your journey as a K-pop idol trainee so far?
I've had a lot of realizations. Like, for example, like a lot of like what I'm doing is a choice that I have to like take responsibility for. And I like what I get to do every day, which is wake up, sing and dance, and like do the things that I love like all day, is a privilege, right? And I'm realizing that like it's a privilege is something that really helps me like move forward and like look past all like the hardship. And there are a lot of hardship, like obviously it's hard, obviously like it's a lot of work and like all this, but just realizing that like, this is all a privilege, and like this is responsibility, and this is like my choice. Like that's a realization that I had after training for like a longer period of time.
That is pretty deep. I love it. Yeah. Also in Suns Up, you talk about how, also kind of deep, you're scared if you sleep, you'll never wake up. So what would you say is your biggest fear?
Oh man, I was hoping this one wouldn't get talked about. I spoke a little bit about our schedules during that training period, and like looking back on it, it was a little bit ridiculous. Like we would like wake up at like 10, 11 a.m. and then we would start the day and we would like do our rap trainings. We'll do Korean because I don't really speak that great Korean when I first got to Korea. And then we do all that, and then at 12 a.m. we would start dance practice, and we would dance all the way up until like we'll dance all the way up until 6 a.m. And then I'd have to walk home to the dorm from the dance practice because everybody else already left to the back to the dorm. I'll be the only one dancing. And then I have to get home, I have to shower, do all that stuff. And I was like, wait, like if I go to sleep and I'm already like super tired, like if I go to sleep, I'm not gonna be able to wake up for the next day because I'm only gonna get like 2 to 3 hours. And like I was like, oh, like should I just not sleep? And like all this stuff. And like, but then like if I don't sleep, I wouldn't have energy for the next day. But if I sleep, I'm not gonna wake up for the next day. And so it was this endless cycle of just like work that I wasn't sure how to like get out of. Now it's a lot more sustainable. We found like healthier ways to do it. I don't want anyone to like be worried. Yes.
No, I'm glad. Sustainable mental health. We love to see it. But amidst like all that hard work and always on that grind, we love to see it. We do know that another lyric from Suns Up, diamonds shine brighter in the rough. So has there been a defining moment of hardship that has made you shine brighter as a person?
Yes. All right. This might get a little bit dark, so put on your seatbelts. Before I came across the blessing that is my current company, FM Entertainment, I used to be a part of this other company that was more American, and they had systems that were very, for lack of a better term, toxic and negative, right? And then going through that system for almost half a year, it really chipped at my mental health. And like the things that we would go through on a day-to-day basis kind of made me question my self-worth a lot, right? So like, for lack of a better term, you know? And then after my 6 months with this company, I decided to like free myself from the shackles and like step up and like be like, okay, like I physically can't do this anymore, you know? And then after freeing myself from that company, I was still like haunted by it a little bit, because now that there was like no one yelling at me every single day, my brain was like, this is weird. And then my brain would yell at me. So it was like, in place of all that, like I still has this thing that was like following me around. And then like, it got to like this whole decisive moment where I was like, okay, like, am I gonna finally move on from these shackles and like try to do something that would like, you know, just move past this? Or am I gonna let this like haunt me for the rest of my life, or like bring me to like the end of like whatever, right? So like, I guess that was a moment that I was like, oh, hey, like if I was able to conquer this and then be like, make the decision and the choice and the responsibility to like step forward and move past it, then like I'll be able to like conquer a lot more stuff in the future. So I guess that was like a moment for me that I was like, okay, like I've gone through the pressure, I've gone through the stress, and now like my current company FM has been like super patient with me and like helping me like heal through all of this. And they were like they had no reason. Like I was very unhealthy. And then like now we have a foundation that's like, I feel as though we have a foundation that's irreplaceable because of the things that we've gone through together and the hardship that we had to overcome to get to where we are now. And there's a much further journey in the future. And I think we have a foundation that allows us to walk it with no fear and regret.
I'm so touched by that. I feel like I just went through like a whole movie, and then we're at the credits scene and I'm just like crying. But we're really just at like the start of your career, so we're just emotional now. But
and thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for this interview. Like, let's do this. Yeah,
it's my pleasure. My pleasure, for real. So when you're dealing with these hardships, and of course you have such an incredible support system now, with these like wounds on your heart, what words do you like to hear to patch up these wounds that would make you feel better?
I like to hear that like someone I really care about is proud of me. Like the words "I'm proud of you," like really, like I'm like, oh really? You know? Yeah.
Well, we at KpopStarz, myself personally, super proud of you already. But yeah, someone knowing what to say exactly when you're feeling down feels like a superpower sometimes, really. And in Suns Up, you also talk about this kind of desire to save people. So kind of a tangent, but in an alternate universe, what superpower do you think you would have or want to have?
Okay. All right. I'm not really good at these questions because I think too much about it. Like, I really like fire. And I want to do something with like fire, but then like realistically in like an alternate universe, I'll probably get like something lame with fire, like breathing fire. Like that's cool. Like everybody's like, wow, that kid can breathe fire. But it's like my mouth gets hot, you know? And it's like, do I always breathe fire, or like sometimes I breathe air? If I always breathe fire, like I can't like blow out candles. Like I'll never have another happy birthday. They'll be like, yo, happy birthday, blow out your candles. I can't.
They will make new candles for you that like you can light up, and that'll be the celebration.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. Are there also like any alternate universes, like movies or books or video games that you've been really into lately? Kind of just for fun.
Ooh, I've been really into One Piece. Like, it's really long, so like I feel as though like, because I can't read a lot at a time because I'm like super busy and stuff, like I feel like the series will be with me for a long time just because it's like super long. I'm like, wow, like I'm like invested in this, you know?
I love that, like that long-term emotional investment. It's really how they get you.
Yes, One Piece.
So good. And maybe I should check out One Piece. That's also a tangent, but I'll do it just for you. Okay. Going back to Suns Up's lyrics, you also talk a lot about calling your mom and that love you have for your family. So what is a message that you would send to your biggest supporters, your family?
Oh, wow. I want to say thank you for believing in me and like investing in me, kind of, because it's like in coming from like a culture where like pursuing like the arts and like creative stuff isn't really like, it's like kind of like looked down upon, you know? And like my parents watched me go to my first dance class and they come back and be like, yo mom, watch this. And it was like really bad. And she like blinks twice and is like, you're doing great, I guess. And then like seeing me come back like 3 months after and being like, I'm gonna do this for a living. Like it definitely must have been stressful for her, you know? So just thank you for always believing in me and thank you for supporting me. And it's like when I talk about like my day ones and stuff, like the most day one, I guess, would be like my family. So I cannot thank them enough.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that hardship and like that dream you're chasing of being an idol. I really think it takes so much to leave New York and go to Korea and train to be a K-pop idol. And in Sun's Up, there's that line, you're down because home's too far away, right?
Yes.
How do you deal with homesickness?
For me, I kind of think to the fact that like, I don't think our connection, like me and my friends, my family, my fans too, like time and distance doesn't really affect the connection that we have. And there's always something that connects us that's stronger than this barrier of time and distance. Like, for example, like just as how when you look up to the sky and there's always like, we're looking at the same sky, you know? And like, it's the same sun, it's the same moon. Like there's always something that's stronger than time and distance. So I think to that connection, I think to that strength, and yeah, I don't feel as homesick anymore after I think of that.
I love that, like love that transcends distance.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. But even now, how does it feel now that home isn't far away and you're back home, back in New York for your first ever tour stop?
Oh man, it is weird because like normally when I'm home, I'm like, oh, I'm at home. Hello, mother. Right? But then like now like the staff came back with me and like they're like in my hometown and I'm like, wow, this is like a weird crossover of universes. And it feels like a crossover, like, you know, those anime crossover episodes where like, oh, hey, like this is Korea, this is America. But now they're like together. And I'm like, I don't know how to comprehend this.
No,
Yeah.
I love that. This is like the most exciting anime I've ever watched. So, what did you miss the most about New York now that you're back?
Ooh.
What are you? Yeah.
What I miss the most about New York City now that I'm back. I think that New York City is by far the most diverse place on the planet. Like, for example, like there was this one day we had a day off and like for breakfast, I was like, I want some Chinese food. And then I went down the block and I got Chinese food. And the very same store next to it, I was like, for lunch, I want Middle Eastern food. And then like Spanish food and all this stuff, all in the same block. So I was like, wow, this is like New York City, you know? That's what I miss the most.
I love the food options. Like I'm in New York too, and just having it be so easy to just like crave something and go get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course this is just your pre-debut solo showcase. We're really only just getting started with your career as a K-pop idol. And in Sun's Up, you also have a line of, I have to go, my future's waiting for me. What do you think or hope is waiting for you in the future?
In the future, well, I have a saying like in my heart, and like I kind of say it as a joke, but like I like kind of mean it. Like I don't live for anxiety, I live for regret. Like I don't really think ahead, and I just kind of have like a goal in mind, and I just run towards it like blindly, and I just hope for the best. Right? And my goal is definitely being the biggest idol in the world, and that's the direction that I'm running towards. And whatever happens, I just take it day by day, and just know that I'm working my hardest every single day, and hope that things work out.
No, 100%. I love that. I'll like write it down somewhere. But rest assured, I'll be cheering you on. KpopStarz will be cheering you on in your goal of being the biggest idol in the world. And no matter what, we do know what is waiting for you this week, and it's your pre-debut solo showcase.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yes.
could you give us like maybe a little spoiler of what's waiting for us and other attendees at your first stop?
I'm so excited for the showcase because like we have prepared a set list of like about an hour, and then like realistically, you guys have no idea what's about to happen at this showcase because like there's not even like an hour of content out on the internet for you guys to see, and a lot of the stuff that we've been preparing is for specifically this showcase, and it's like a bunch of high energy stuff. We're gonna make sure everybody has a great time, and it's like I wish I could like show you guys or like talk a lot about like exactly what it is that I'm doing, but realistically you guys have no idea what you're about to get into. It's gonna be a great show. The spoiler is that it's gonna be a great show. August 20th. You can
I'm
buy tickets.
excited. We're running straight towards it. No regrets. I love it. And another one of my favorite lines from Suns Up, and kind of a touching one as sort of the last question as part of this interview, is I'll be back soon. This isn't goodbye. So could you send a message to KpopStarz and all of the fans that are kind of eager to see you again?
Send a message to the fans and KpopStarz who are eager to see me again. Okay. Thank you so much for supporting me and like giving me all these opportunities despite my current lack of accolades. And everybody being here right now is like really, really a sign that you guys believe in me and like believe in what it is that I'm chasing after. And I kind of said this before, but the fact that my content and my music is able to bring even a little bit of joy to your lives means a lot to me because you guys bring so much value to my life, you know? So it's like just having this like give and take relationship really means so much to me. And thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my stuff. Thank you for watching my stuff. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life as much as you guys are a part of mine. Yeah.
I love it. Might start crying. Don't tell anyone. All right. Do you have any final thoughts or any questions you wished we would have asked?
That's about it. I don't have any questions specifically. Thank you so much, Kaytlyn, for this interview and this opportunity. I think our outfits are matching. I think that's very funny. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. That's it.
No, of course. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview and taking us through your day-to-day and your future and all the details that make you through the lyrics of Suns Up. And we're so excited to see you perform at your pre-debut solo showcase this Friday and take the KpopStarz audience along with us.
Yes. Thank you.
The sun's up like a diamond.